Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Lynn and today I am crafting with one of the latest releases from Spellbinders. This is the Sealed for Summer collection and I picked out some seals that I think I'm going to get a lot of use of. This is a 3-for-1. So what's really nice, and I'm glad that they're starting to do this, is that there are 3 different designs and 1 handle. And if you didn't already know, you can unscrew the handle on any of your wax seals and then swap them, interchange them out, because we don't really actually need as many handles as it would be nice to have seals. And quite frankly, if they just sold the seal design by itself, I would be happy with the handles that I have, because you can always just switch them out and interchange them. I think that's also the reason why when you get your wax seal, the seal itself isn't 100% tightened, and that I think is to let you know that you can always unscrew that design. So all I did was I took a couple of handles from some other seal designs that I have, and I screwed them onto the 2 that didn't have handles already. Those were part of the 3-in-1 packs, and then I also have the birthday banner seal as well as the Thanks for Everything seal as well. So whenever I sit down to make wax seals, it's kind of like glimmering to me. If I'm gonna bring everything out, I'm gonna really set myself up to do a bunch and to have a little bit of a play. So I have, the thought that I had was to actually put some wax seals, combine them with the Better Press panels that I made. I made a bunch as I was just, again, sitting down to have a play and get a little bit used to the new Better Press machine. If you haven't already seen it, I did do my out-of-box video that's live on my channel now if you want to learn a little bit more about the new Better Press system and my thoughts on it. But here, what I thought I would do with the seals, I've never tried this before, but I thought I would maybe sprinkle on some glitter before I put the seal on, because I want to see if some of that shimmer and shine would come through without the design getting too distorted, because it is a very fine glitter. I'm using Nuvo glitter, and so my hope is that because these seals are so intricate and very have a lot of fine detail, I was hoping that the glitter doesn't really like clog anything up and still adds that little extra kind of sparkle. So that's the first thing that I wanted to experiment with, and I'm only using gold and maroon. And just like it's nice to have multiple wax seal handles, I like having multiple spoons as well, because then I don't have to stop and clean out the spoon just to try a different color. So it's nice to be able to just dedicate each spoon, at least for this session, to 1 color, and I can just do a final cleanup when I'm done with my session here. And I found that I do have a glitter also from Nuvo that is kind of close to the maroon. And what I like to do is, if I'm looking for a particular color, I do mix my wax seal beads. So the maroon from Spellbinders, I thought was a little bit dark, so I put in a couple of beads of the lighter reds, and you can always do that just to experiment. So you don't really need a lot of different colors. You can always just mix colors. And what's nice about these beads is that if you do find a color combination that you really love, you can always write down the little recipe because you can just count how many beads. So if it's 2 dark maroon and 1 red, you can replicate that. And so it's really nice to have these beads to I mean, I'm not sure that they're 100% identical, but they're going to be close enough. And I really loved how the glitter looked, and so I kept doing quite a few of them. And I think it's going to make those better press panels look even more special. Now, I do have a second wax seal holder, and what I thought I might experiment with next is to play around with introducing or bringing some acrylic paint pouring techniques into my wax pouring. So there are different techniques that you can achieve with acrylic paint pouring, and one of them is called dirty cup. So it's where you pour multiple colors of paint into a cup, and then you pour the cup out onto your canvas. And so that's what I've done here. And 1, it was way too much wax. 2, I poured gold into the maroon, and then I poured that out. And the result of it was that the gold poured out first onto my silicone mat, and that becomes the bottom of your seal, not the top layer of your seal. So the bottom of this looks, I think, a lot prettier than the top. So I didn't want to do the dirty pour again until I've thought through how to reverse that, how to get the look that I want. So next time, I think what I'll do is pour a little bit of red or the maroon. I'll pour that into the color that I want to be more on top, but it definitely will take a little bit more experimentation. What I thought I would do in the meanwhile is the equivalent of this would probably be like a split cup pour in acrylic paint pouring. So basically, in acrylic paint pouring, there are special cups, silicone cups that you can buy that have dividers, and there are different sections where you can pour in different colored paints. And then there's a funnel that they all pour out of together. And there's different DIY versions of that too. So here I'm sort of doing a little bit of the equivalent of that, where I'm pouring, and it took a little getting used to pouring left-handed, but I'm pouring simultaneously. And I'm calling this double pouring. So I'm pouring simultaneously from both spoons. And what I was trying to do was actually pour them so that they combine into one stream and midair. And that way, when they're hitting the silicone mat, it's hitting the mat as a single stream. I think that's going to yield a better look than pouring, 2 separate streams that hit your mat, because I think you'll get a better shaped pool of wax that way. And what I really love about this technique is that the gold stands on its own, but it does sometimes mix in with the maroon a little bit, and so you get a little bit of ombre, a little bit of the mix of the two, but you have some definitive areas where it's very maroon and it's very gold. So here's a different angle simultaneous with the top view, just so that you can see it at that angle. So you see how the gold I'm actually pouring above the maroon, and that way they are coming down together as a single stream. What's really important about this is that you want to try as best as you can to make sure that the wax in both spoons is very, very melted. Sometimes what I do when I do my seals is I I just use the pokey tool to swirl around a bit of wax that might still be a little bit solid, and usually that's enough. Once it's making contact with the rest of the hot seal, it doesn't have to be super liquidy. And I'll pour it so long as it's just consistent and everything is melted. Sometimes I do that because then the seal will actually cool and harden a lot faster. And as well, it holds its shape, because if it's super liquidy, then it might spread more and not have that really nice roundness to it. But for this double pour technique, I really wanted both colors to be super liquidy, because then you can really take your time to pour them together so that the two streams do meet up. And because they're a little bit more liquidy, they're gonna merge together, I feel, better than if they were thicker and less kind of melted. So look at that final result there. Really, really love the double pouring, and I might be a little bit addicted to this technique. I do think it turned out better where there's more contrast. So I have that one that has the lighter shade of red with the gold, and I don't think that was quite as successful in terms of color combination as where you've got the really dark maroon with the gold. And I did film myself doing this set of blue and white, but I'm just not going to include it in this video because it's a lot of the same, because I was just very addicted to doing this. But here's a few of the oval design. It's just a floral, doesn't have a sentiment, and those are the easiest to use, I feel, because you could definitely pop those on envelopes. And that bottom row of 4, I didn't even put a seal design because I just really love that swirl. It's just beautiful. And I don't know how I'm going to use those, but I just wanted to make them because I think they're really pretty. So, okay, let me show you some cards that I did make using some of these seals. So this is the Better Press panel, where I've used one of the colored ink pads that you get from the extra exclusive starter bundle, and these ones here are actually foiled. So I pressed with Versamark clear ink, and then I gold foiled, and both of them are onto cardstock as opposed to the 100% cotton papers. And then I just added one of the seals to each of these designs. Super simple cards, but I feel they are a little bit extra special just because of those unique elements of the letter pressing and the wax seal. I hope that you enjoyed this video today. Let me know what you think of these techniques for wax seals. And I'm super excited that Spellbinders has announced that they are starting in July a wax seal and a Better Press subscription monthly club kits. And so I'm really looking forward to getting a chance to craft with those club kits. And I'm really excited that there's going to be kind of on a monthly basis some new inspiration for both of these products, both the wax seals and the Better Press. Thanks again for joining me, and until next time, happy crafting and have a fabulous day. Bye.